wasn't always on top, but I was right there.
Sure, I'm telling you, mate. See, when we come, we don't pay and we don't pamper and we certainly don't lotion. See, bringing back this flavor, whether they like it or not, because this is the original concept.
I was right there, orchestrating new innovating features in the world of house and garage, doing things that others couldn't contend with, thinking outside of the box. I didn't want to be like them, the rest of my peers. I wanted to go against the grain, think outside of the box in a worldly way. Remember, my influences come from so many different mixed genres, including hardcore and jungle, which I still had a foot in. I used to bring forth different type of artists to work with, bring it to the front line. Forbidden fruit of guests, I used to call it, on the shows. It's what I've always done along my journey, what I call joining the dots. Like in 1994, while being on the biggest house and garage station of London, Freak FM, I had to be more of a standout from the rest because there was mad talent on that platform. So my thoughts was jingles. Always had a thing for jingles, radio idents, to distinguish me differently from the other shows.
Madness, 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 madness.
I always had that thought process from the sound system days, like intro dubs, but I didn't have the facilities to do it or make it. I spoke to my oldest brother who had a little studio set up and can sing. I got him to do a bunch of jingles for my radio show. One of the more catchy ones I had said the words, "You got what I want, you got what I need. It's the madness," a cappella. Playing jingles like this also contributed in more recognition, defining my sets different from the others. Like I said, it was so popular, people would sing that particular jingle to me when they were approaching me in clubs. It was crazy. So I wanted more, as I had these jingles only on tape cassette. Couldn't play that in the club. Around these times in 94, I still had a foot in the jungle connection. I used to get advice and some schooling, mentoring from one of the greats, LSD, the captain, who was massive in his own lane. So to receive any advice was a blessing. One night he invited me to come out with him to Lid Airport Hangar alongside MC Fearless for the Mighty World Dance. Thousands of ravers. It was unbelievable, like nothing I've ever seen before. He performed what he called a 10 grand set alongside Fearless. They smashed the place to bits in front of thousands, and he played some serious dub specials, some with his name in it, which gave me ideas for what I wanted to do in house and garage. But this was 1994. No one thought outside of the box like this. I mean, in house and garage it was straight 4x4, Todd Edwards, Victor Simonelli, Kerry Chandler, Masters at Work. How would this work for me? Then Mickey Finn steps up after Ellis, placing his acetate on deck number 1. I watched keenly. He also had an intro dubplate which was mesmerizing, with the powerful vocals saying, "Rinse out Mickey." Listen, that was the light bulb moment. I got it. I must have an intro like this in garage. But how? That's too cold. And the house and garage raves are filled with women. You can't play a dub like that.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I next approached my brother again. I said, I want you to re-sing the popular jingle and let's turn it into an intro dubplate. Thinking the ragga samples was too much. I know that kind of style from Saxon and the jungle DJs, but that's too much for house and garage, which was predominantly ladies. So the singing jingle would perhaps be more appropriate. This was our first collab in the studio together, so I needed something to stand out. I chose a drum loop. I said, let's use Got Myself Together from the 24-Hour Experience, a Grant Nelson loop. Okay, so we sampled it, but it sounded just like his track, so you wanted to make it your own. Okay, let's make it more with a jungle influence, reprogramming the loop, rewriting it as it is to make it our very own, chopping it up like a jungle format but in a slower BPM. My brother said, let's do it like LSD does it, and the other jungle producers like Busy B and these guys can transform a loop into something special, different from where you originally got it from, which was more organic. This alongside the vocal started to bring the track to life. I wanted a killer bassline though, had to have that. That's in my bloodline, so my audience would know the difference and make sure there was no mistake. Here comes madness. I took to the keyboard, a Novation bass unit. I started playing around, trying to find that war-type bass pattern. After some time, it happened. A 2-note bass pattern. We both looked at each other with glee on our faces like, that's it, that's the one. Then I thought, what's these knobs do at the top of the keyboard? I turned one of them. It distorted the bass line like a jungle wobble. It had a longer, foreboding intro that was different from house and garage classics of the time. In any dance, nobody would ever have heard something like this. And I was in prep for New Year's Eve, which was a couple weeks away. So we mastered the track as soon as possible, ready for Music House Dub Cutters, which was off Holloway Road in North London.
Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.
It was a week to go for Freaking You, New Year's Eve at the Rocket in Holloway Road. Although I had 6 bookings that night, Freaking You was our crowd, that's our people, and that's where the bulk of my followers would be. And I can bun a different type of fire in North London. However, there was an accident on the one-way system by Michael Sobels, and I was running late, stuck in traffic for time, couldn't get out of it, and I had about 30 minutes left of my set. As soon as I managed to get through, I found parking opposite. I ran to the doorman saying that I'm super late, please let me through on time. I got through.
Excuse me.
Making our way through the main stage, people saying hello, people saying what happened, people saying where have you been? As we got up on the stage, I quickly selected my acetate, which was at the front of my record bag. My MC, Rankin, took the mic and gained control of the crowd, letting them know, with apologies, about our lateness. The needle hit the record. The acetate began to spin, and in with the sound of my intro dub. 1994, something special happened.
We are about to enter the sounds of DJ Madness, KMA.
And little did I know, and this was the very beginning of my music production career. The crowd started to make noise. Once they recognized the popular jingle, in came the bass line. The crowd, they went insane and exploded. The bass was so heavy it vibrates my structure, and everyone felt it along with me. The ultimate screwed up bass faces were looking back at me. It changed the mood. Something was happening. People looking around, feeling the energy, as in like, what the? Then after,
That's what I need.
follows the drop. The track hits with instant reply. The crowd bawled for a rewind.
Hey, this is DJ Madness, KMA, yeah? And this is how we do.
I'm looking in amazement thinking, wow. The goosebumps that was all over my body at that time, it was electrifying. I didn't even have time to draw for a next tune to try and bust a mix. I turn around and the next DJ, EZ, is waiting with his first record to take over. The 15 minutes had done, but I knew the impact that was caused on that night was the exact effect I was looking for. This track went on to be our first release as KMA, called Cape Fear.